if you recognise and feel the energy of 2026 and you want to have the deck of cards stacked on your side to be successful, plan. I feel like it's worth addressing your goals or what do you want in different domains of your life. The past is what it is. It's done. I only look in the rearview mirror for the sake of learning, and I always want to be better. That's just me. I think we undervalue the learning along the way. I'm planning my success for the year. Do I really need to do that in an afternoon? Welcome to 2026, Jeremy.
Welcome, Hanif.
Yeah, thank you.
It's good to be here. This is how it's going to roll in 2026. I'm going to be on this side of the camera.
Could be. But I think 2026 bodes really well for anybody who wants to take the bull by the horns and take advantage of opportunity. And that's why I wanted to kick off by starting with the most boring of all topics, planning.
Well, boring to some.
Super important though.
Yeah.
Super important. There are those people who fall into success and it happens accidentally. That does happen. But if you recognise and feel the energy of 2026 and you want to have the deck of cards stacked on your side to be successful, plan. And we'll run through what that means.
Yeah, well, because before we sat down today, we were actually talking on the phone about, what we're going to essentially talk about for this. And I remember we were talking about commonly at the beginning of the year, people will sit down and they might make New Year's resolutions or they might make goals. And, people in business are definitely making goals. And you were talking about it's all well and good to make goals, but what about having a plan attached to those goals? So I think from the outset, it would probably be a good idea to even talk about those terms and what we mean by that. So when you're I'd like to know when you're sitting down to do goals, what are those goals and what do you mean by goals? And then what do you mean by a plan as well?
Let me talk to that and then I'm going to go back.
Yeah.
I'm a great fan of starting here and then going backwards.
Yeah.
So if I simplify it, a goal is just simply, what do I want? That's it. What do I want? It's simple, but it's a big question. And how do I get there? It's just, what are the actionable items that I need to do consistently that'll get me to where I want? And importantly, how will I know? And they're your markers. Because how will I know says, yeah, I'm hitting the mark. Everything's awesome. I'm not quite hitting the mark. What do I need to change or what don't I understand? So it allows you to question your activity just in case it needs changing or modifying. That's it. So actually, when you break it down into simple terms, not a big deal. I think where people often probably go off track a bit is they get the what do I want? Yeah, I want this, this, and this. I want to be fit. I want to have $1 million in the bank. There's no detailed action plan. And by the time they get back into their normal thing, they're just back onto the normal thing and they'll get what they got last year because nothing's different. Now, if it happens to be that last year you got exactly what you wanted and you want to repeat, well, that's cool. Keep doing the same things, dude. You're on target. It'll work. But if you want this year to be different, you've got to do different. And you've got to be prepared to say to yourself, am I cool to be different? Now, here's where I'm going to go back.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's worth addressing your goals or what do you want in different domains of your life. And we might even put out a little paper or a little table on this to make it easier for people. What do I want for my family? Even if you're not married or you haven't got kids, you still have family. What do I want that to look like? What do I want in terms of friendship? Because that's your community. And those two things, for most people, when you break it down, are their bedrock. If life goes to shit, I was going to say, am I allowed to say this on this podcast? That's my podcast.
Yeah.
Say what I want.
You'll find out later if I've censored it or not.
Oh, that's true. Who really has control? That's not me. All right, maybe it's not my podcast. I feel like I can say it again.
I'm going to need a button.
You naughty boy. I think acknowledging where is your bedrock, what is most important to you, is so critical in setting what you want. Because if you say what you want is all these other things and you put an action plan in place, you'll get them, you will, and you'll feel empty. Or it will be at the cost of the things that are actually most important to you. So I would actually start with that. Family, friends, your community, whatever that looks like for you, what do you want? What do you want for your health? And we've already done a couple of episodes that are probably not released yet, where a common theme is without your health, you haven't got anything. And it really is simple to picture this if you think about the last time you're really ill. Like really, really ill. What were you thinking? What were you feeling? I'm pretty sure a lot of this other stuff went out the door. Or if somebody close to you was really super ill, what became most important? If a family member's got cancer, why do people sell their houses just to try and save them? And they forget about investment. Why? Because that's the bedrock. So I know rabbit on a bit about that, but I think it's forgotten.
It's critical.
So okay. So we've got those domains. What do I want for myself? Now, sometimes we forget that, we've also got interests. And they're not just monetary interests. For some people it is, I love investing and researching these things. But I've got a limited number of hours in my day. And if I said health is important, I've also got to sleep. How am I going to use my time? So what do I want for myself? And then financially, what do I want? And that's how I would break it up. And I'd look at priority. And don't compare yourself to other people, especially if you're a younger person listening. Biggest mistake I see people make, and a lot of them are young, is comparing themselves to their friends. Oh, but Charlie's got a house now and I haven't got anything. Well, there might be a reason for that. Or maybe there isn't. Or maybe you were a slack ass and you spent all your money and boozed it up, but Charlie didn't. Well, no point doing the comparison now, dude. That is done, right? What do you want now? And are you prepared to make the changes? And they don't have to be big changes all the time, but you do have to consistently commit to something. I always say to people, there's no avoiding doing the work. At some point, somebody's got to do the activity. And you've got to take responsibility for it. If you want the outcome, do the activity. The end. If I want to exercise, no one's going to do it for me.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, wouldn't it? But it's not going to happen. So why don't we just give ourselves a reality check? Be kind to ourselves. You don't have to be unkind to yourself. Go, look, the past is what it is. It's done. I only look in the rearview mirror for the sake of learning. I don't look in the rearview mirror to blame myself. And I always want to be better. That's just me. So I will sit down and go, what do I want in these domains of my life?
And when do you typically do that? Is it because I've got a couple of questions around that process. Is that something you do throughout the year at different times of the year? Do you only do it at the beginning of the year and then you're just reviewing through the year, or is it? And the reason I ask this is there a point when goals are too far ahead in the sense of me making a goal maybe for when I'm 30 years in the future might be too psychologically difficult to handle, whereas something that's 90 days away is a lot easier to manage.
Yeah, look,
I mean, that's an extreme, but
everybody's different. I have friends who plan 30 years ahead. Young, way younger than me, your age. And they don't plan on everything for 30 years ahead, but they do think things like, well, in 30 years, I'll probably have kids. I don't know, but I probably will. And I want to be able to muck around with them like I'm a 10-year-old. And to do that, mobility becomes important. All right, I'm going to do these things consistently so that in 30 years' time, if my health is good, hopefully it is, I'm fully capable. I'll run rings around them, you know. So I think each to their own, Jeremy.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't have a time of year. So I don't sit down at the beginning of the year necessarily to plan. For me, I've got a plan and it's constant review, because if you put that plan in the bottom drawer, you won't refer to it. You can have action items and all those sorts of things. You're not going to do them because you don't see it. It's not in your face. So people have different ways of doing it. For me, I've got a plan, and I think it's habitual. So I don't need to calendarize, look at my plan or review the plan, because I'm constantly reviewing it because it's what I want. I know I want, but what I want can change. So here's the other thing. Just because you set a plan doesn't mean you can't change the plan. So the beauty about having a plan is you're shaping your destiny, and you can change your destiny, right? But if you don't have a plan at all, it's going to be what other people allow it to be. You're not influencing your life. Now, if you're happy with that, to go, whatever happens, happens, well, that's okay. If you're cool with that, fair game, no problem. But if you have any interest in trying to shape where you're going yourself, to say, well, I do actually have preferences, make them happen.
And that's where the plan comes in.
Yeah.
I want to talk more on the plan, but just for a second, sticking on the goals, and you talked about how you're splitting them up into domains. Do you have I suppose, an approach or a process for even crafting what those goals are? So, for an example, if we're talking in the priorities, you said family is a big one because that's the bedrock or the foundation. You might have a goal of, I want to be close with my family, but then what does that actually mean? So like, do you have an approach of making that a more sort of detailed or a
wonderful question? Because that is the crux of it.
Yeah.
It's great to say I want to be close with my family.
Yeah.
I would then not jump to what do I need to do.
Yeah.
To me, that's the biggest mistake you can make. You ask, because the answer to the question, what does that look like for me, will be different for you and it'll be different for me. So what does that look like in action? How do I picture it? Like for us, if we wanted to be closer, we actually need to spend more time together. What does that look like? Well, in every family, that's going to be different. We are really busy and the agenda's huge, and we still want family time, so we try and pull people together every Monday night. We go, okay, everyone else is busy too, so maybe Monday night actually, and it does actually work for us for the most part. So I do two things. Okay, well, what does that look like for me? It looks like this. Then I look at, well, what do we need to do to make that work? And then the priority thing comes in, because if, let's say, you've got 5 different domains, you might have your family, your community, what do I want for myself, your finances, there might be something else in there, and you go, okay, how do I prioritize? Because these things are dynamic.
Yeah.
Right? When I talk about I've only got a certain amount of hours in a day, life is dynamic. I can't stick to the principle of I'll spend 2 hours with family or I'll spend 5 hours on my business. It doesn't work like that. I know it's dynamic. So today maybe I don't spend any time with family. So what do? I have a little rating system against each, and how am I performing in that? It's not to share with people. It's just an internal thing. Out of 10. And I said, if 8's acceptable, 8 out of 10, that's cool. But if below 8's not really acceptable, that tells me I need to pay some more attention. And that's it. I need to pay attention to it. Today, the needs of the business might be paramount. Lots of stuff happening. Staff might need my time. Clients might need my time. Maybe I've got to put more attention into that. But it'll be at the cost of what I want. That could be okay. Well, yeah, all right, that's cool. But it can't be like that forever, and that's where the rating system comes in. Because if at the end of the week I look at that and go, yeah, time for me was like 2 out of 10, right, better give that a little more priority, give that a bit of juice. What do I want to do differently next week? And that tries to maintain a dynamic balance.
I was going to say, it sounds like that's what you're doing, is balancing like across and constantly monitoring that. Is that done on a weekly basis, or do you do it more frequently? Is it like every other day?
Really? Nah, look, if I sit down and look at it, it'd be weekly.
Yep.
But you can feel if things are slipping. You can feel a need, and you can feel a gap. So if my loving wife is very important to me. So if I'm busy with work and she's busy with work, but I can feel she needs something, it might only take me a minute to say something really nice that makes her feel valued and loved. That will carry it. Yeah, we're cool. And I'll make up that connection time tomorrow. But you feel your way through it, so it doesn't have to be clinical.
Yeah.
Bugbear for me, work-life balance. I think it's bullshit.
Yeah, me too.
And like, what a load of crock. What an industry. Life is dynamic. If you understand what you want and you will find your own balance in it, that works. You know, work is part of life.
Yeah. We spend most of our time at work, actually.
Yeah. So, you know, sometimes we have to do or work in areas we don't want to. And that might be the need of the day. We can't find what we want.
Yeah.
It's important to earn money because that's how we live. We've got a family. You know, there are needs. But it is part of your life. So the whole work-life balance thing, I don't even know where it came from, Jeremy. And I did try it. I thought, that's an interesting concept many years ago, and I tried it. And I thought, what a load of crock. That doesn't work. For me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know I'm projecting that on the whole population, saying it doesn't work for you either. But for some people, I think it does.
Yeah.
If I dig deep enough, I might challenge those people to say, not that they're wrong. I'm going, no, if it works for you, that's right for you. I'm challenging the label.
Yeah, and
work-life balance.
Yeah, I think
you found your balance.
Yeah.
Where you've said, well, I've done enough at work. These other things are really important to me. I'm going to go and do them. For me, you're managing that dynamism of your life, and it'll be different.
Yeah.
To me, and different to you, and different to Jill down the road, and that's cool.
Yeah. It reminds me, I had a conversation with a fellow, you might know him. Do you know a guy called Rob Bentley? He's a coach, but the reason I was speaking to him is he wrote a book called The Enjoyment Plan, and the central premise of the book is flipping the idea of a retirement plan on its head. And one of the things he speaks about is not in these terms of work-life balance, but it's what actually, like you're saying, part of life is work, and it's actually, if you're on, say, like a permanent holiday, it'd actually be really boring. And it's actually the work that makes that part fulfilling, and vice versa. Like there's
a complementary element to that.
Absolutely, yeah. So I don't quite like the idea of work-life balance in that kind
I think
of
it's just
label
a tag that annoys me. It's just like a little personal bugbear. And I think people can probably get more of what they want if they actually sat down thought it through. And what does that look like for me is a question I think is critical that a lot of people don't answer. And don't give it the time. Because sometimes, I don't know, for planning for me, when I do this, and sometimes I do reset, I go, I feel like I want something a bit different or something to change something. I don't sit down and do that in an afternoon, oftentimes now. It'll start with that thought. And what I've discovered for myself is it takes me days of just thinking.
Before even sitting down.
Yeah, because I go, I might want something different. How come? So all these questions come into my mind. Why? What does that look like? What would have to change? Because what if I was just feeling it at the time because I was super tired and I was really pissed off with someone down the road, or something happened in the family, I wasn't happy about it, and it's just an emotional response to a situation, but it's not actually what I want. So sometimes I'm okay for the planning process to take a few weeks. I'm planning my success for the year. Do I really need to do that in an afternoon?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Do I? Well, if I can, why not? I've done it before because I was really super clear. No, I know exactly what I want and I know why.
Yeah.
But if I find I can't answer the question for myself, why do I want it? What's so important about this that I want it? And what does that really look like in action, so in reality? If I can't really clearly define that for myself, that makes me pause. Do I really want it?
And do you think that is where a lot of goal setting and planning falls flat for people? Is that it's not, at least that first part especially, isn't clear as far as there's not a strong enough why?
Yeah.
So,
Why do I want that? What if I don't want that?
Yeah.
And for the sake of whom do I want that? That seems like a really dumb question on the surface. Yeah, I want it. Of course it's for me. Are you sure? So an example of that would be, I want to look amazing. Well, what does that look like? I've got the physique of an Olympian, You go, who do you want that for? Oh, I want it for me. Are you sure? Well, actually, a couple of my friends look like that, and I think they're cool. And, when you start having that dialogue, and I think, I look at the girls they get, and I want those girls. And, okay, so you're doing it for the sake of others. Now, I'm not judging that.
Yeah,
that might be right,
fine.
right? That might be totally cool.
And you might go,
that. Yeah.
And then they're actually on board, but at least they're clear.
Yeah. You know your why. You go, because the why is the motivator when it gets hard, right? Because when you say, I need to take these actions, why do some people stick with the actions and some don't? I maintain that you don't want it enough, or you're not clear on your driver that makes you want it so much you keep doing it. Because it's the activity that gets the outcome. Wanting something in your head doesn't get you the outcome.
No.
That's called dreaming, right? So if I want to turn that dream into reality, I've got to do some stuff, and sometimes it'll take some persistence, sometimes it'll be hard. What gets me through that? Well, girls are a great motivator. If I want that awesome-looking chick down the road, I'm more likely to be motivated to go, I'm going to the gym.
Yeah, you bet.
Yep, I'll go there tomorrow and the day after, and I'm there. And it's not the gym that's keeping me there. It's the thought of that's what I want.
Yeah.
So, the anchors are really important. And the girl examples, this is very blokey, so apologies to the girls out there. And you already know this because you're all way smarter emotionally than we are, right? So I'll put that on the table.
Yeah.
But it is a great human example. It's short-lived. So I do know of guys who've gotten into really good shape because of women.
Right. Me too, yeah.
Cool.
Train with a lot
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah. And again, I'm not judging it. It's a biological thing. Women too, they want a good-looking guy, right? So, all right, good. That's just a human thing. Fine. What happens when you get that person? If you get that person. Let's just say you did. You go, awesome. Now you've got them. Then what? What is your motivation for keeping on going? Because I see with some people that dynamic shifts. Where is the why? So for me, it's longer-term health because as you get older, your mobility can slip really badly, right? And I am like a little kid, and I love to play with kids because they're just fun, right? And we do have this thing at home. I say to them, dude, even when I'm 90, I'll be stronger and faster than you. Everyone laughs at it. But I reckon it's going to be true.
I think it probably will, yeah. Yeah.
So, for me, we go, yeah, we're having fun. That's a game we play. I'm competitive.
Yeah, and you're seriously considering that. You're like, yeah, and this is what...
Dude, I am.
Yeah.
I've said I'm going to be stronger and faster than you. This is going to be fun for us for the years because when you're 23 and we have a quick race down the road, I'm going to beat your ass. And that's just how it's going to be, right? And the fun of that for me is a motivator.
Yeah.
So all I need to do is think of, I just got to keep beating these guys. What will that take? Everyone's got their own motivation, right? So I ask those questions. There's nothing wrong with discovering, maybe I don't want that. So I've looked back on some of the previous goals I've set. I never achieved them. Yeah, how come? Invariably, I didn't put the effort in consistently. And I did ask myself the question, why? And what I discovered is I didn't really want it in the first place. Well, certainly not in the priority of the other things that I did achieve. It wasn't that important. I thought it was important. That's why I've learned to ask myself these questions. But as it turns out, whether it happened or not, I actually didn't care.
I wonder, is it a case of, and it might vary among the goals, I don't know what the goals were. Have you, in retrospect, decided that they weren't important because you've changed now, or do you think, thinking back,
I was trying to be honest with myself and say,
yeah.
no, that was a load of nonsense. You didn't really want that in the first place. Because if you really wanted it, you would have put the effort in.
Yeah.
And I didn't ask myself, why do I really want it? What does that look like? For the sake of whom do I want that? We're selfish creatures, human beings. One way or another, I'd say for the most of us, everything we do is for ourselves in some way if you break it down. For the most part. So, and again, just acknowledging that's how we are, and it's okay, it's all right, just that's how it is. So then, what do I want and why? Before I take any action. See, what I discovered is that those goals that I didn't achieve and I put some time into, I could have not have done that and put that time into other things that I enjoyed better, right? So there's a trade-off.
There's definitely a trade-off, yeah.
I don't have a big list of goals or things that I want.
Do you, because that's really important. That's something I've, I wouldn't say perfected, not even close, but gotten better with over the years is realizing that it sounds obvious, but you can't do it all, even though you might have, and this is distilling it down to like, yeah, these are actually important goals, but you can't execute on all of them.
Well, you can't execute on all of them today.
Correct, yeah.
Right? So it's very much a today thing. I'm a have my cake and eat it too person. Right? And I will give that every crack I possibly can. Yeah. So I believe there are things that I want. So I go, yeah, this is what I want. why do I want it? For the sake of whom do I want it? Some of those things aren't even for me. I have a benefit, but they're not for me. I'm cool with that. And then there is, you're right, the list of priority. Some of them are really long-term. The health thing for me is long-term, right?
Yeah.
What if I do live, and I never imagined I'd even make it to 50 when I was a kid. Like it was
Really?
so, yeah, I don't know why, but in my head I go, yeah, I won't be alive when I'm 50. And it wasn't an emotional thing. Like there wasn't anything like that. And it wasn't because I was young and I thought 50 was old.
Just very matter of fact. Like,
It's like, dude, you're not going to live to 50.
Yeah.
I'm more than 50 now. And I might make it later. I don't know. But what I do know is I don't want to be older and have people have to care for me. I just don't want that for me. I don't want that for the people around me. I would rather live a really good life, the best I can, and fall off the perch. That's, to me, that's the ultimate. But up until that point, whatever that point is, I know I've got to be physically capable to be able to do everything myself because that's me. That's what I want. So my commitment to exercise and mobility is constant because of that thought pattern.
Yeah.
Now, if I let something else seep in that's not really important, I put time into it, it's going to come at the cost of something else.
I think like a lot of what we've been talking about actually, it sounds like, and this is probably where the plan comes in place, a lot of these things, especially for those long-term ones, come down more to habits and systems, like the things that you're consistently doing. Like, so, we use the health example, you can't decide to, exercise today and then 6 months later exercise again. It's an ongoing thing, and how you eat and how you sleep and so on. What's your thoughts on that? Is that something in those other domains has become more habits than less like, I've got to make a specific plan on how to do this or that?
It does become habitual after a while. And then I think with the habit, if you really want it, you're always looking for ways to improve because we're curious. We're human beings. We're curious, right? So we try things that's, that's working, but that bit's not quite right. And then you start to observe nuances in it. Oh, yeah, I'll try this. Oh, that worked better. Oh, the family's reaction was greater because of that. Oh, they love that more. And you try stuff. Or, this is really draining the crap out of me. You know what? I'm not asking for help. So I ask for help from the family on Monday nights. It's better for me now. But share the load around. Like there's so many nuances you get into, but it's, once you get in the habit, it helps. But the habits, people talk about forming habits, they happen naturally after consistent activity, whether they're good or bad, right? So if you smoke and you continue to smoke, you'll form a habit and we might label that bad. Good or bad, you'll form habits. So I think I put that aside and I don't worry about what habits I need because I go, what activity do I need? The habit will be formed off the activity.
Well, that's it, Rob. But isn't that the same thing? As far as like you're making a conscious effort to, you want something to be habitual and therefore you do the activity for, let's say, a month or 2 months. I think they usually say at least a month is how long it takes.
I don't bother about that because that attaches an expectation to the outcome. If I do this for 8 weeks, I'll have a new habit. I don't care about the habit. I care about the outcome. If I want to look better to attract those type of girls over there, then after 8 weeks, am I looking better?
I see.
I'm not going to think about, did I form a new habit? I couldn't care less.
So you're cutting out the middleman, basically.
Yeah, who cares about the middleman, right?
Yeah.
I'll be much happier knowing that I'm getting where I'm going or that I am closer to my family. Or, last week we laughed so much and we haven't done that in years. That was just magic. Right? That, to me, that's the evidence. Show me the evidence, the quality of my life will increase. So actually, there's nothing that difficult about any of this. I think what we lack is that thinking to start with. We all know what to do, or we can research it. Sometimes we don't know what to do. And if if it's a health thing, there are a bunch of people you can talk to. And be real about it. Are the actions I'm proposing to take actually going to get me the outcome? And does the outcome need to be short-term or long-term? That's it. And I loved your question before about thinking ahead and other priorities, because I'll change a goal. Or I might achieve my goal. Cool, what's next? And there are other things I wanted to do. Okay, well, slot that in.
Yeah.
Live a full life, man.
Yeah. And I'm glad you said you can change it. That's something I wanted to ask you about. First of all, going from goals to planning, what do you personally do to create a plan? And then you mentioned how you don't have to be so rigid with it. It's like, oh no, the plan says this, and therefore I have to do it. It's like, no, you can have it flexible. Talk to me a bit about
it's
that.
It's dynamic.
Yeah,
things are dynamic, right? So if I actually do take some time out to sit and think about it on my own. I'll think about it, I'll write it down, and I might have to come back to it, because some of the things I don't know about that. Some of the things that I can just tell you, right, it's this, it has been last year, it was the year before, it'll be next year, and okay, that's still the goal. And I'm working on it. I've got my action items, so I sit down and actually write it out. There's something about writing it down. It's almost like making a commitment. So if you're in front of your family and you make a commitment, you're almost done, right? Because it's different to having it in your head.
Yeah.
If you say it to your family, it's a different thing. Because your goals generally, you're not going to tell other people. Or you might tell some people. But to write it down is almost like, I'm committing to this. And it translates it from a thought bubble in your mind into the physical reality somehow. Don't know the mechanism, but it seems to work that way. So that's what I do.
Yeah.
And I sense check for myself, do I really want it? Ask those questions of myself.
Yeah.
And then I look at, okay, so what does that look like for me? And the answer to that question will dictate the activity that needs to be undertaken and how often. So if we said, I need to earn $500,000 this year, and I understood the why, and okay, I know what that looks like. Then I can work backwards and go, what activity do I need to undertake to bring that about? And that takes a bit of thought. Okay, do I need to change what I'm doing? And for some people, it's so far ahead that there might be a really good reason they picked that number to do with other domains of their life, and there could be a good reason. But let's just say you said, I know why it's 500,000. The why is important, because if you just pick it out of the air and say I want to be rich and 500,000 is rich, dude, it ain't gonna happen. But if there's a real reason behind it, you go, okay, that's really important. I'm on 100,000 now. That's a big gap. And if you think about the actions you need to undertake to do that, you'll probably back at, well, who makes 500,000? What does that look like for them? Am I even interested in doing those activities? Because if you're not interested in doing them, that's a bigger barrier. It doesn't mean you can't. Doesn't mean you shouldn't. But you have to understand that's a bigger barrier because you're not going to like it. Right? Doesn't mean you have to learn new things. Oftentimes when there's a change, it equals learning. Now, that may not mean you have to go to university. We've got so many tools in the palm of our hand now for learning. It is incredible. I'm constantly learning new things. And AI is a great source of information. Not always right, but it's a great starting point, right?
Definitely, yeah.
YouTube, podcasts, there's so much available information. So obviously you've got to try and find out which information's correct,
Yeah.
but not insurmountable. But anytime there's a change, there's some form of new learning. I need to find this out first. Sometimes in the finding out, you go, wow, there's a great opportunity here. This is easier than I thought. Or I can learn that. Or, oh, there's some barriers to entry and I don't like that. Oh, yeah, I don't need 500,000.
Yeah, because I don't want to do those things.
Yeah. You know, if you really, 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 really needed 500, you'd probably go do them. But if you pared that back because that's a bit too hard, and I'm not judging it, you might say 200's enough. Well, maybe 200 was actually where you needed. That's your reality. Actually, 200's good. And I can do those things. I'd be happy to do them. Or they're a bit challenging, but I'm okay. I'm cool with that. And the rest of my life is balanced out. Dude, you're in a better place than if you went for the 500 and you didn't really want it or need it.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I ask you a question? Because this made me think of this. Are you familiar with stretch goals?
Yes.
What's your thoughts on that? Because and the financial one is where it usually comes up. Well, not usually, but it's a common one where it comes up for is, let's take that person who was that had the 500K as a goal, and for whatever reason they don't reach that, but that's what they were gunning for. But let's say they get the 200K, and the argument is like if you have a stretch goal like that, you shoot for the, what do they say? You shoot for the stars, but you hit the moon, kind of thing. That had he not had that goal in mind, he might not have hit 200K. He might have been lower. What do you and we can expand it out to other domains, but what's your sort of thoughts on that?
I think it depends on the person, really. Some people have the heart for the 500. No, I really want it. And they'll give it everything they've got. They still want the 500. They get 200. It's disappointing. I did everything I thought I could do, but they've learnt so much they can look back and say, I know why I didn't get the 500. It's for these reasons. And I didn't learn this. And I didn't even know I needed to learn that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Oh, now I know. All right, we'll go again.
So there's still value in that because of the learning that they made along the way.
I think we undervalue the learning along the way.
I think so too, yeah.
With most, and business is a really good gauge of this, I find, because notwithstanding there are unicorns, but it's most common to build a really, really good business generally takes 10 years. It's not an overnight success. And there's a whole world of, I aim for this, I didn't get it, but I learnt this, and then I did that next year, and it got better, and I kept learning, and and you just get better and better and better. And along the journey, you learnt of so many things you didn't even know you needed to learn. And then you started to innovate because you found gaps in the market. You go, yeah, but if I did that over there, nobody's doing that. So you go over there, and in doing that, you become, your business gets better, but you're learning stuff because nobody's done it, or it's underserved and yet to do it differently. So you'll trip yourself up. It's almost like watching candles in a market, in a bull market. It's not all up and down. If you look at smaller time frames, it's a bit like business is like that. It's dynamic. It's with learning. And it's not always a straight line. Success isn't actually a straight line.
Yeah.
And I think that's why the why is so important. Because if it was a straight line, you did activity and it went like that, happy days. But it isn't. So what happens when it goes down slightly? If you don't have a belief that you really want it, you'll give it up.
Exactly, yeah.
Because you didn't understand why you really wanted it. What's so important? It's not arbitrary. And I feel sad for people when they set a goal and then they just drop it when you talk to them and actually pull the information out of them, they did really want it. But they never articulated it to themselves. Because if they knew why they wanted it, why they were so important, they wouldn't have given up.
Mm. Do you think people ever give up because the plan isn't, what's the word? Not clear enough. Like the plan hasn't been well crafted.
Yeah,
Let's
definitely.
put it that way. Yeah.
You've got to have a clear pathway for the doing.
Yeah.
So even in business, when we plan, we're quite meticulous about it. Because in execution, if you're not clear on the activity, what are you doing?
Mm.
You do some of that activity, you'll do a bit over here, it's like scattergun, and the chance of success lowers, and you're putting your energy everywhere, and it's draining. So it shouldn't really be that draining in doing this. You should go, this is cool. I'm on my way. All right. Yep, that's working over there well. But in this domain, that needs tweaking. That's not really working for me. I wonder if the activity's right. Maybe it's not. And you might learn something, go, tweak this. That's working better. And the multiple domains are really important because it balances out. If you're setting goals only for your business or financial and you don't hit them and you're not focusing on anything else, you'll just feel downtrodden. You'll feel crap. But you know what? The finances is not your whole life. But you're focusing on it like it is. What about the rest of it? And that's why the importance of those other domains is important.
Yeah. Yeah.
Provides you a balanced perspective of how am I tracking? What do I want? Am I hitting at least 8 on all those scores? Oh, no. But it's okay. Yeah, that one's a 6 this week. Yeah, I'll do a couple of things to bring it up. You just feel better about yourself.
Yeah.
And it's just constant little bits of progress that you can go, I feel good about that.
Yeah. I wonder, is there anything else you do to, and not that you've got to feel good all the time, right? Like it's not possible, but other things you do to, I guess, keep that momentum as far as having those positive feelings like you're progressing? Like, so the big one obviously is having a clear direction why, because when things go wrong, you can always go back to that and go, yeah, this is why I'm doing it. But are there things, for instance, that are like kind of in between of making things not feel so challenging or feeling so difficult?
I can only answer for me. You know,
Yeah, please,
I've
yeah.
seen a lot of perspectives,
Yeah.
right? I can only answer for me. I really enjoy all the little things every day. And it keeps me grounded. So, you know, whether it's the coffee I make in the morning, I do get up, I make myself coffee, I make a hot breakfast every morning. It starts the day off, I feel good. And I enjoy it. And if I sit down for 3 minutes or 6 minutes, yeah, that's a good start to the day. That's good. All right, I'm ready to go. I'll enjoy the conversations I have with people during the day. Not everything's enjoyable. Some of them are challenging. Some of the interactions teach me a lot. Yeah, that was not ideal. And there's no such thing as, oh, well, that's how it is. Well, I can go back and readdress that if I want. You can always readdress something. I think it's the little things, Jeremy, because if you're not going to enjoy what you're doing, like in terms of your holistic life, what's the point? And do I really need my 500,000 to enjoy my life? Are you sure? Is that the only, that would say that that's the only thing that brings you joy? Bet you it isn't. That's why, again, it's that balancing thing, right? It's a dynamism of, yeah, that's cool. And do you have to, the happiness thing, I don't know. How real is that anyway? You know? Do I feel good?
Yeah.
Do I feel good?
I think, where I'm going more to, not so much of feeling happy, but I guess fulfilled. And fulfilled, and I'm always thinking about, am I moving forward or not?
I think that's good.
Yeah.
And do I feel like it?
Yeah.
Am I moving forward rather
Yeah.
than just do I feel like it?
Yeah.
Because sometimes your feelings are deceiving.
Exactly,
You could be
yeah.
really tired, right? Like,
Yeah.
"Fuck,
But
that
you
was a
still-
hard day. I started at 5. It's now 9 o'clock at night, and I'm just spent, right? Am I moving forward? Yeah. All right. Did I do good? Yeah, you did. All right. Probably just need to sleep. It's okay. I think that's good, and it's a healthy dialogue and a good little check-in. Did I do all right?
Yeah.
Yep. Am I a bit ahead than I was yesterday? Yeah. All right, good. If I didn't, tomorrow's another day. What am I going to do differently tomorrow?
I wanted to ask you, because you spoke about how you actually write down your goals and your plan. How often are you looking at that? And do you think it's important to be looking at it regularly?
Yeah, and the manner of the looking is different.
Talk to me about that. Yeah.
Everyone's got a different way that works for them. And a couple of times in my life, like a lot of people, a picture speaks 1,000 words. So all I need is a reminder. So I used to use, what do they call them? Image boards. There's a whole bunch of names for them. So it's basically a collation of pictures that represent what you want. And to be able to see that all the time, that is actually the mental cue, because you've already done the work of this is what I want, this is why I want it, this is what I need to do to get it. And to see that representation, that links the two together in your brain.
And actually, the good thing about that, I've only
Vision boards,
recently,
that's what they call
vision
it.
boards.
Vision
Yeah.
board,
I only really recently discovered this, but the reason why, one of the reasons why it's so powerful, is that it's bypassing your critical thinking. It's actually speaking to a mammalian brain. So it's like you're basically brainwashing yourself, but to do the things that you want to do.
Dear mammalian brain, I want that car.
Yeah,
I actually did that. That's weird. When I was like
Yeah.
20 or 19, no, 19, I had no idea what vision boards were or anything. All I knew is I wanted this car, right? So I got a picture of it and I stuck it up in my boss's office, and I used to be in and out of there, and I saw it. And lo and behold, it's just weird what happened. And it was in another state. And I got it 6 months later. I didn't even chase it. It was like this weird thing, right? And then there's lots of times in my life where I could cite, I had a picture on the wall, and that's what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had situations like that as well. And it kind of scares you when it does happen. It's like, oh, that's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't. I reckon we don't accept that sometimes things are easier than what we think.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or they're not easier. No, that's actually
simpler,
wrong.
They're simpler than what you think.
They're simpler, not easier, because everything you've got to put the effort in. But they're simpler, and you have to do the doing. If this isn't for pretend.
Yeah.
If you want to pretend, you just keep daydreaming. Good luck to you. Nothing will change. But if you want to do it for real, I think the vision board does really work well. And it's a good shortcut to actually having to take out and read the thing, especially if you're not a reader. The vision board will work magic. But you need to write it down and be really clear on what actions do I need to take. And another thing I've learned is, what am I not going to do?
I think that's something we haven't talked about yet. And I think that's actually, I was speaking to someone about this recently, is because, and we don't talk about it enough, it's always what are we adding on, not what we're taking away, because the pie is only so big.
Yeah. So what are you taking away or not doing?
Yeah.
Or doing less of?
Yeah. It's not always a complete deletion. It's sometimes
No.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? I spend 10 hours a week with people I don't even really like. We don't hardly even talk. We're not on the same planet. Do I really need to do that? Where's the value for them or me? So you cut it out. Or I sit on this board over here, That takes a number of hours away from my family. Do I really need to do that?
Yeah.
Or I thought I wanted to sit on another board. Should I do that? No. And then it becomes a beautiful guiding light because you see your vision board, you've written down your actions and your goals, and you know where your priorities are. It makes it really easy to say no to stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And there's a process now. Like, it's not a confusing thing.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
very clear.
I love you dearly. You come to me and say, can you help me with this movie? I would love to, Jeremy. And my calendar's just jam-packed with stuff that it's a priority. I can't squeeze that in. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Similar thing, but in my own case, like, I've for this year realised not that I do a lot of it anyway, but realised I need to pull back on what would I call it? Sort of like random social commitments, events, things like that. And I think why I was initially avoiding it was because, you don't want to upset people. You want to keep that relationship. But what I've realised is, I guess the people who will be upset by it, I can't help them that they're going to be upset, and then they're probably not good friends if they don't understand what you're working on anyway. And the people who aren't, they're the ones that will accept and be fine with it.
Yeah, I think there's truth in that.
Yeah.
Why are you upset? What's in it for you that you would be upset?
Yeah.
And that's often the case, right? It's not about me that they're upset.
Yeah.
It's about them and what they want.
Yeah, and I can't control that. Then I've got no control over that. So.
Well, also speaks to, you're getting upset and projecting on me, but it's not even about me. What's that about?
Yeah.
And do I want to spend my time in that situation? How's that helping me get what I want? Maybe I should delete it.
Yeah. I want to kind of pull all these sort of things we've been talking about together. If you were speaking to someone, we're in January, at the time of this recording anyway, we're in January 2026, and then looking ahead to, sort of pull all this together, what sort of practical tips or advice would you give to someone who wants to really give this year a crack?
If you want to give you this year a crack, sit down with the pen and paper or an iPad, plot out the domains, think about what you really want. And you can define what you really want by asking yourself the question, why do I want it? What does it look like in reality when it's happening? What does that look like? Because sometimes when you ask yourself that question and you picture it, I don't really like that.
Yeah.
It's just a reality check, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with saying, I want that, and then discovering, no, I don't really want it. I go, that's so fantastic. I'm happy for you. Because you're not going to waste your life and your precious time on something you don't really want. So I go, do that exercise first. Do them in the domains of your family, your friendships or community, what you want for yourself, and your finances, at the very least. There's probably a couple more categories, but that'll do to start with.
Yeah.
Once you're clear on that, and if it means you've got to sit down today and you're not sure, so you go away, think about it, come back, over the next couple of weeks, just put a timeline on it. Say, I'll have this finished in the next couple of weeks. You might come back to it 3 or 4 times. Who cares? And then what actions do I need to take to make that happen? If you want to use a vision board, make one. Handy tool. And then keep going. How am I going with that? Put a score. What is the minimum score you're going to feel you need to meet to say, I'm doing all right at that? And every week look at that score though. Am I doing all right with that? I reckon it's only a 6 this week. All right. What do I want to do next week to bring it up to an 8?
Yeah, that's where the dynamic aspect comes in, because you're monitoring that. Yeah.
And give yourself room to move. It's cool. Every week's going to be different because situations change and you're interacting with real life, and you don't control real life. You control what's over here. So you go, okay, I can play with that. Have your little scoring mechanism that you need to revisit every week.
Yeah.
Okay. How am I doing in that? And sometimes you're going to fail. Right? Yeah. It was a 6 last week. I'm going to do these things. And you did them and it didn't work. It became a 5. Yeah. Don't collapse in a heap. It's okay.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that you're doing it is cool. You can still change. You go, okay, well, what needs to change to make it an 8? Why didn't that work? Or I didn't do it. I committed to do it. Why didn't I do it? What's really going on? And maybe you'll discover something you didn't see before about yourself. And the self-discovery bit, gold. That's actually where the real gold is. You'll learn about yourself and go, I get it now. All right. And you might shift that goal. So I think I've gone off the beaten track already in answering your question.
No, I think we're pulling
it all together.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think in actually doing the doing, you just got to monitor it. Have that vision board on the side, because every day that you look at it, preferably multiple times a day, it gives you the visual cue. Oh, yeah. I used to have it on my laptop as my screensaver.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
I used to make it up, take a picture, stick it on my laptop,
Yeah.
because I always see my laptop when I open it. And, yeah, it's in the background, but I recognise
Yeah.
it. And sometimes
right,
my
yeah.
eye would go to one part of it,
Yeah.
which was a really interesting thing. Why would my eye go to that part today? And I don't have an answer to that, by the way, but I just found that fascinating. And maybe somewhere in my subconscious there was a deficit, or I needed to know, oh, yeah, you better do something about that, buddy.
We've noticed it. Something in your brain has noticed it.
Yeah. So there's a lot that happens for us in our subconscious.
Yeah.
And we're a box full of tools. It's cool. But a hammer doesn't use itself, right? It'll sit in the toolbox until you decide to pick it up and use it for something. And then the question is, of course, are you using the right tool for the right job?
Yeah.
But your brain is a box of tools. Are you just leaving it on the floor? Are you going to use it? Do you even know what the hammer is for?
Yeah. And optimizing it to whatever you want it to.
You know what? You'll do that on the journey, because once you get interested and you're on the journey, you'll go, ha, that's really cool. And you start to optimize things. Like people who get obsessed with coffee, yours truly. You learn one thing and you go, didn't know that. Then you start, I can recognize the taste between that and that now. And then you start to get interest. You go, yeah, my ass, you can taste chocolatey flavour. And one day you go, hey, what? That's weird. Did you know this coffee I drink? I have it black now. And if I have it with egg yolk, I can taste hazelnuts.
But only with egg yolk.
With egg yolk. So there's something about that chemical reaction, right?
Interesting.
So it's very cool. So you can see, coffee nut. But that brings me little bits of joy. I go, I'm still fascinated that I can go, that combination equals hazelnut. I go, that's so chemically weird. And I love it. But there's a little bit of joy.
Yeah.
And that joy to start the day is just good. It sets your attitude. And your attitude will rule the rest of the day. So, and that's in the doing, right? So in the doing, finding little bits of joy. For some people, it's, I don't laugh enough. Find a comedian on YouTube and just watch a little bit, and you get a bit of a giggle, and your attitude will be different to start the day. Don't let your day start with anger. Do not go to bed angry, because your sleep will be shit.
Yeah.
That does not serve you in any way whatsoever. Easy to say, by the way. This is all easy for me to speak as advice, and everybody's got to find their own way of doing it. But if you're aware, you can start working on it in your own way. For me, those things work. I'll find something funny. If I go, there's lack of humour around here. But I need to laugh.
I need to laugh, right?
Yeah. Or I think of something, often childish, that'll make me laugh. And even that changes my attitude. And your attitude is actually everything.
Yeah.
In the doing.
Yeah.
If you want to hit
Because
your
it'll change
goal.
how you see things. So.
Yeah, and how you
looking
feel
at
about
things,
it, right? Because if you feel a bit better, you're gonna thrive. If you don't feel so well, it's not going to be as enjoyable at the very least. Does that help?
Immensely. Yeah. Yeah. It's good. I kind of don't know how to wrap this up.
Well, I think I wish for everybody a really prosperous and enjoyable 2026.
Yeah.
I hope that you spend some time thinking about what you really want, plan it, execute it, enjoy it, and you'll see the rewards. If it's not working, modify it. Something's not working. If you need to make a shift, make the shift. It's all right. It's cool. And get help if you need it. Sometimes you can't do all those things yourself. And there are lots of people around who help you. So get the help.
Can we just spend a minute on that? Because that's something we didn't talk about was at what point do you think it's valuable to get outside help? And it could be for any of those domains or goals. You know, like sometimes doing it on your own is actually not productive to get the outcome. When do you think?
For some people, especially if you haven't done it before, or you found you've done it in the past and it hasn't hit the mark, maybe somebody to bounce it off would be really helpful. That way, it's not just I'm stuck in my own
Thought
headspace,
pattern
and you can get another perspective. So, sense check this for me. Sense checking is a great tool.
Yeah.
So get someone close to you who's not going to judge. For some people, that's actually difficult, which is unfortunate. People are judgment machines. But if you find somebody close to you who wants to see you succeed, if they're a bit judgmental, ask them to suspend their judgment. And if they care about you, you'll find they will. People are quite good when you point it out. I'm not looking for your judgment, but I need a really good sounding board and I trust you. Do you reckon you can do that for me? Because I want to achieve a few things in 2026. Sometimes that conversation turns out more fruitful than you could have even imagined, because you might find the other person also wants stuff. Everyone's scared of judgment. So once you turn that tap off, a bit of magic can happen. If it's in planning and things that you don't know, health, fitness, there's lots of people, finances. Yeah. We didn't even touch on business. The business planning thing's really interesting, intricate, and important. I wonder if we do another session just on business planning.
Yeah, we can easily.
Yeah, that one's a cracker. And again, 2026 for business, not across every industry, but a lot of them, there's lots of opportunity.
Yeah.
Like lots. If you plan well, really just do. Yeah, your profit will be good. If you want long-term success, it could be a good way to do it. But if we can support people to have a better 26, I think that's great.
Yeah.
And the better and the more everyone prospers, the better the whole community is. So I think I like the idea.
Great. And that comes full circle around the community angle too. So
Yeah. And we all live here, right? So if all of us are doing well, you're creating like a prosperity machine.
Yeah.
If everybody's attitude's better, things are going to get better. If everybody starts to have conversations around reducing judgment, communication's going to be more open. So I think it's not without its challenges, but everything can change for the better.
Yeah.
And we're all part of the machine.
Brilliant. Should we leave it at that?
Sure. For anybody out there, if you've got questions, can we post them somewhere, Jeremy? How does that work?
Yeah, look, if you've got a question, the best place to do it is through YouTube. So leave a comment on this video and we'll see it. We'll be able to reply to it.
Yeah, maybe there might be some comments you make or questions you have that leads to us doing an episode on something in particular or finding an expert.
Yep.
We don't have the answers to everything, but I reckon we can find them.
Yeah, I think we've got a good enough community to find the right expert or person to talk on that. So yeah.
Yeah, so anything you want to know, really, that you go, can you do an episode on this? Love to hear about it. And if we can help you prosper in 2026, let's do it.
Absolutely. The rising tide lifts all ships. So
Go the ships. Fish and ships.
yes.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Thanks, Hanif.
All right.
I'll have your details in the.
That's very kind of you. Hey, by the way, we don't say this often enough. I own the finance agency. It's a finance broking business.
Yep.
We do sponsor the podcast because I want to get information out there. But I've got a cracker of a team. So if you're looking for finance for anything, that is actually the team to use.
Yes.
And I'm advocating it and openly saying, come on.
Yeah, no, you should. I think we don't say it enough, and we should do it more. So
Yeah. Yep. Finance agency.
Yes.
Is where you need to go when you need a loan.
I like that.
All right. That'll do.